So Disney dropped the ball on this whole Snow White thing, didn't they? I watched the Snow White movie, and I'll tell you what's wrong. There's one major glaring issue with the movie, and it's the single biggest thing, and I haven't really heard people talking about this. I haven't heard any publications, any other podcasters. I think I might be the only one who noticed what was actually wrong with the Snow White movie. But when I was watching the all-new Snow White movie, I noticed one very teeny tiny important detail. The animals are all CGI.
What are we doing?
Can you believe that? All the animals, the deer, the birds, the squirrels, all of them, 100% were CGI. And honestly, Disney, gross. As it's a little gross. And so I think I just would have assumed in a world where we can have lions and bears from the Jungle Book and panthers and all these different animals within the Disney universe. I mean, they just got an alien for the new Lilo and Stitch movie, but we have animated CGI deer and Snow White.
What are we doing?
I mean, let's just call it what it is. Disney got a little lazy with this movie. When I first saw that first computer-generated image of a bird flutter across the screen in the, I almost walked out. I said, how dare you all? You took this classic of a movie from 1927, and you turned it into this this monstrosity where we can't get a single deer to walk across the street. We can't get like birds in the pond. We can't get squirrels running up the tree. All of the insects, all of the animals in the new Snow White movie were CGI. And honestly, I'm disappointed. I didn't really see anything else wrong with the movie other than that. So, I mean, I don't really understand why it's getting a lot of hate. Listen, in a world of authenticity, you know what I mean? Like you gotta figure it out. So the movie opened to about a $13 weekend, not 13 million, not 13 billion. I think it literally only made like $13.
What are we doing?
And I think we checked the latest reviews. It got one big boom on the boom meter from the Costco family.
What are we doing?
So it's not looking good. You know, if you're anywhere near a 1 to 2 boom on the boom meter, it's not good. You should shut it down, pull it off the shelf. They should have, you know what I mean, Supergirled the shit out of this movie, shelved it.
What are we doing?
But hey, we got a couple tickets sold. It opened a $13 weekend, and if we're being honest, the movie was kind of doomed from the jump. I mean, I can't be any more real when I say Gal Gadot, she's like meh and about everything she does. Why she was the villain in this movie, I don't know. She gave us nothing. There was nothing to her character whatsoever. # thank you, IDF.
What are we doing?
The dwarves were doomed from the start, ever since Peter Dinklage opened his mouth a few years ago saying how ridiculous it would be for Disney to actually hire dwarves for these roles. So that's when they switched to CGI. But now, of course, we're a little bit more progressive in the way we're thinking of things socially. So now everyone's on arm, like, where the fuck are the 7 dwarves?
What are we doing?
They're animated too. I was busy looking at the birds. I didn't even realize that the deer were CGI, let alone the dwarves. So that's like strike number 3. So that was like a thing. Like, why would you not? Hey, Disney. Hey, I'll say it again. Gross. And they changed so much. You know what I mean? They changed so much about the story and the whole thing. And then, of course, we get to the lead actress, Rachel Zegler, okay? Since the beginning, I think just was set in her ways in the sense of that she wanted to make this her movie. She wanted to make this a powerhouse for the independent female lead. I can do it. I don't need a man's help. I can get to where I need to be, and I don't need saved by Prince Charming.
What are we doing?
Was the message and attitude that she had going into this. That's why the film was changed so much. They rewrote the entire Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs story for this 2025 rendition of whatever this film was. And at the end of the day, we have nothing other than Rachel Zegler just being very emotional, very upset, and just kind of not okay with the results of the weekend and how everyone's kind of sort of reacting.
But it's hard. I can see it in my hands and say, I am not broken. I am just learning. My break is not my end. And to everyone who hates when I win,
here we go.
The winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her. And I can only hope,
but they didn't,
that despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them, that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
Here's the issue. Disney, I think, has officially benched her.
What are we doing?
I don't think we'll be seeing Rachel Zegler anytime in a Disney movie or major motion picture anytime soon. Unfortunately, due to the press and the breakdown and just the non-goodness of the whole film and everything, the situation surrounding it. The issue, here's the problem as to of what all of these actors, Blake Lively, Rachel Zegler, all of that, here's what they need to understand. That it's not only good enough to pour your heart and soul into the movie, you have to continue doing so for years to come. And it has to become your personality, it has to become your life, and it has to become something you non-stop talk about. Look at Kevin Hart. Every time a Kevin Hart movie comes out, it's him talking about it, posting about it, being about it, doing skits about it, going on podcasts about it, promoting it, making it his life for everyone to see something, a clip, a trailer, to hear about it, to see about whatever new movie he's putting out. And when these actresses like Blake Lively and now Rachel Zegler, as soon as there's a little bit of scrutiny, as soon as there's a little bit not going your way when it comes to the results and the money and the positive press and what people are saying and the news and the media, you can't break down. You cannot let them know it's getting to you. You cannot file lawsuits. You cannot have these metaphorical Facebook, Instagram lives where you're like, I'm a star, I'm narcissistic, I did this for me. And that's the issue. When you start promoting and doing things for yourself, it's going to become blatantly clear. When you start doing things for the movie and for the craft and for the crew and for the love and for the art and for the end result of the experience of the user, that's when you gain success.
What are we doing?
And at the end of the day, she's just not doing that. And so when she realizes that that's what she needs to do in order to make the next movie she hopefully, fingers crossed, is inevitably in, then maybe we'll give her a second chance, okay? We're the land of second chances. I mean, we're pretty much okay with everything that Jeffrey Epstein's done. We've got the JFK files and no one gives a shit. And there's cylinders and a battery or something underneath the pyramids. I don't know what's going on, but at the end of the day, you can probably assume that Rachel Zegler will be back on the big screen at least once more in her career. Probably some like cheap, like random director that's going straight to Netflix movie like Taylor Lautner did as soon as the Twilight movies were done.
What are we doing?
So, I mean, hey, another $250 million bomb. You know what I mean? Disney spent $250 million on this and it bombed. Netflix just had the bomb of the year with the Electric State movie that bombed. That was with Chris Pratt and Millie Bobby Brown. That's why you see her everywhere. Spoiler alert, she came out and said her middle name's not actually Bobby, but because we made that mistake, she legally changed it. So way to win. W for us.
What are we doing?
And so it would seem that now at the beginning of 2025, we're getting all of these companies like Netflix and Disney, we're getting all of their tax write-offs for the year because these movies that have been coming out are upwards of $250, $300 million in budget, offer it to just kind of fall flat on its face and be predictable and not really have any entertainment value whatsoever. So, that it is what it is. And at the end of the day, we won't be able to do much about it. You know what I mean?